As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell,
good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Crystal.
Hey, Gilbert, you're back.
I am back, baby. I am back. I miss you.
Gone for a while.
I know. It's been quite a while.
It seems like, as LaRon, our engineer, says, feel like you've been gone for like 13 years. It feels like a long time.
I know, and I see my trusty co-host Dawn been sitting in for me and doing a splendid job. So I want to say much big ups to her and thanks, Dawn.
Thank you for being gone for a while. Giving me the opportunity. Thank you so much.
I hear you.
We've had a good time, and she was warming your seat for you.
Oh, yeah.
And a pop.
Did you hear we changed the title?
Oh, no. What's the title?
You don't know the new title.
Is it Crystal and Dawn now?
No. It's
Crystal and Gilbert and Dawn.
Crystal, Gilbert, and Dawn.
Hey, LaRon, you see what happens when you go away for 13 years? They move you out, man.
She didn't move you out. She just added.
She just added. Well, that's great.
She gave you your big ups, did you, Dawn?
Yes.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
That everybody knew you were coming back.
I love it. I love it.
They were asking where you were. I couldn't, I tried. They wouldn't let me do it.
They wouldn't let you do it.
Crystal wouldn't let me do it.
Our contract didn't allow that, huh?
No, I think she just loves you.
Oh, man. I love my Crystal, too. I love her.
And we missed you. And we had a lot of hormones, estrogen happening here. So we need a little insert.
Yes.
I hear that.
Yes.
Yeah, we were women latent.
All righty. That means you guys got some good information that you put out there, right?
Yeah, we did. We actually had a great time. We had some good fun. So what tell us all about what
I've been
did.
in Vegas. I've been working with small businesses in the Nevada Contractors Association. Did my 8-week class with them. I taught them, business readiness, contract readiness, bank loan readiness, and got them to the point where now we're getting ready to take them over to MGM Grand Resort so they can start doing some procurement opportunities with that hotel chain.
Okay.
And also with the Nevada Department of Transportation. I mean, they're loving what we're putting out there. So
good.
This is great.
So it was a good experience.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah,
it was wonderful.
But that travel, was it rough?
Oh, that travel was something, man, every week. And then I used to fly out at around about 10 o'clock. Now I'm flying out at 6:40 in the morning.
Oh, whoa. And coming into LAX?
Actually from out of Long Beach. So
okay.
That was a little
easier drive.
It was a little bit.
Because I don't know if I could see you driving to LAX.
Oh, no.
That would have been like 4 o'clock in the morning. Right?
Yeah, I couldn't do that. And the thing about that drive, Crystal, if you make a mistake, like 5 minutes can cost you a flight.
It does.
5 minutes, man.
Yeah.
So I had to be on top of it. But it's beautiful to be back and seeing all you guys, you and Dawn doing a great job with small business.
Glad to have you back. We held it up while you were away. We had some great guests.
Appreciate that.
Some really cool guests, actually. Dawn actually brought in a couple of hers. These two brothers that she brought. Well, she actually brought in a whole crew of these young men, and we're gonna have.
They were awesome.
They were really, really awesome. They speak. They're speakers for kids, and they go out, and it's like 100 of them, but it wasn't 100 of them in the studio.
David Shands and Life.
Life.
I cannot think of his full name, but he was absolutely incredible. Their stories were amazing. And they're doing
I have
some
to
great things. They're from
share
Atlanta.
the poem with you that he
You have to see that segment.
That's good.
Yeah, you have to see the segment. He was so powerful.
He was powerful.
I mean, his poem, it actually made you have goosebumps. That's how it was like deep.
I love it. I love it when young people do amazing things.
Yeah,
love
these
it.
guys are in their 30s, what, their 30s?
Yeah, they're about 30 years old.
Yeah.
They're still
right.
teeny boppers to us, right?
Yeah, they're teeny boppers to us. But if we got to leave the world to them, then we keep adding on and multiplying.
Right.
We'll be in good
Yes.
hands, right?
We'll be in some good hands.
Great
They're
hands.
outspoken. They're woke.
Yes,
That's
yes.
good.
And they're
woke.
excited
That's
about
good.
kids and teaching kids entrepreneurship
That's
and
good.
how to be successful. So
I like
they're
that.
doing some amazing
I
things
like that.
across
Yeah.
the country. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Don has her pastor. He also is doing some entrepreneurial.
Yeah, hopefully we'll
great
get him
things.
on here real
We're
soon.
Yeah,
working
that'll
on
be
getting-
good.
Yes.
Get him on the show as well. So
Yeah.
she had some contributions that were excellent guests
Yeah.
that we had. And
That's
then-
great.
Yeah, so it was good.
So
We missed
see,
you,
she's
though.
in the business zone spirit. You know,
Yes.
she knows how it goes. You know, so that's great.
Edwin Lawrence is his name. His website is or his email or his Instagram is Life Speaks.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's
very good.
on.
Yes.
There.
Oh, okay. Hey, Edward Lawrence Life. But his name,
great.
but Life, his name, once he explained to you why his name was that,
Yeah.
then it really made sense.
That's
And
good.
so when I share the segment with you, he
That's
tells you
good.
why, just based upon what he's endured
Right.
and what he has experienced in his life in the town that he came from.
Wow.
So it was really, really powerful.
And he came with David Shands, who owns the brand Sleepiness for Suckers.
Yeah.
And most people know that brand from Eric Thomas, who's a
Oh.
national motivational speaker.
Right.
So we got a chance to see where it all started from in terms of why I'm not getting any rest whatsoever. And it made sense, right?
It made sense. And you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleeping is for
Sleeping
suckers.
is for suckers.
We sleep after we get it done. We got
That's
things
right.
to do.
We got
That's
things to
right.
do. We don't have time to be
No
worried
days
about.
off.
That's what I'm talking about. Once
Right, Karen?
once we're paid, then we can take a nap.
Absolutely.
Right, exactly. And speaking of which, this morning I was up very early for my workout with Miss Dawn.
Oh
Absolutely.
So
man.
that was another.
I have some pictures to show you. Now listen, me coming on the show was a blessing for me. But see, I wanted to make it also a blessing for Crystal. And I told Crystal she had to join me. As long as I'm on the show, she's gonna have to come work out with me. So she's been there since day one.
All right.
And, you know, she likes Zumba, which is exciting. I'm a Zumba teacher. As a matter of fact, I had an amazing Zumba party a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I'm for Zumba.
Yeah.
But Crystal has she stepped up her A game. She's working out now. She's lifting weights.
Oh,
She's sweating.
wow. I'm
Yes.
loving
She's
that.
squatting.
I am
She's
loving
doing
that.
burpees. Yes.
How many squats did we do this morning?
This month, Crystal has done 100 squats a day.
Oh
For the-
man. Co-host, I am so proud of
when
you.
you throw a penny at her butt and it bounces back.
It bounced right up.
Excuse me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And this morning I'm doing my arm press, and and I had my little 10 pounds. She goes, "Oh no, you're doing 12." I'm like 12.
Don't be afraid. And listen, this is it. This is the thing. She did 12 pounds after doing 2 sets of 25 with 10-pound weights.
Right.
She did the 12 pounds like it was nothing. And I said, look, you're ready for 15.
Uh-huh.
Just think about it. You already did 50. You did 50 already.
Yeah.
And then you go up and you do 12 for 25.
Right.
You're ready for 15
Oh
pounds.
man.
Absolutely.
See, that's what you need in your corner right
I'm
there,
just so
Crystal.
excited about the transformation my
Man,
sister
and
is
you've been
making
taking
here.
pictures, right? You've been
Yeah.
taking
Oh,
pictures.
yes, absolutely.
And
Video,
she's a
pictures.
coach, man.
Oh,
She's
man.
tough.
That's
And she
good.
don't be letting you try to sneak around. And she got
And
like
she's
6
running,
or 7,
and she's
all that kind of stuff.
It's great.
So now
I am
when
so
when
excited.
she goes out on the tennis court and start doing her thing, she's
she
gonna
may
be
win,
skipping
She may
over
win
that.
some matches now.
Now, right?
Yeah.
I thought this morning, so Wednesday was the beginning, so we started our biz camp.
Yeah.
And so Wednesday morning, I had to be there at 7:30, and I was like, oh, there's no way I can do. So I called Donna. I said, Donna, I can't make it. She said, I paid for it today.
I don't take excuses.
There's no way I can be both places, but it's good. I'm enjoying it.
I hear that. I'm so proud of you,
Yes,
wait till you see the video and the pictures. You can join us one day.
I will join you guys. It's going to be a long drive for me, but I'll join you guys.
We'll do a special workout one day after the show.
Okay.
Because this month is Men's Health Month.
Yes.
So let me see. Can you answer this question for us?
Yeah.
We've been asking this question
all month.
Yes, all month.
Yeah.
Why are men so afraid of going to the doctor?
One, they think that they got it figured out and they know how their health is.
Uh-huh.
The next thing is they don't want to find out anything that could surprise them.
Okay.
That's another thing.
Is that a form of being scared, you think?
Well, yeah, it's a form of being scared. And
Right.
then the third one is, man, we don't like pain. So anything that may seem like anything
You don't like pain.
we don't like pain.
Wow.
So anything that may seem
He's
like
been
it could
honest. We're
cause
hearing the
pain. Oh, yeah. and that's exactly what it is. Because, for example, I'm glad you brought up this subject
Yes.
because this coming Monday, I'm supposed to be doing a colonoscopy. I am not looking forward to it.
But you have to.
I am not.
I'm sure you're not.
And
There's
you know what?
nothing to look forward to except a great bill of health.
You know what? I've been putting this thing off for the last 10 years, okay? Just to let you know. The last 10 years.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah. And
So this is going to be your first one?
First time.
And you should have had your first one 10 years ago?
I should have had it more than 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's not good.
So that kind of gives you an idea.
And guess what?
Yeah.
Fear is false evidence appearing real. You heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, once you go in there, there's nothing like you thought it would be.
I'm
You're
sure.
gonna be absolutely fine.
I'm sure
You're gonna
once
say,
I go.
was that it?
Yeah. once I go, I'm gonna go, man. I need two more of these.
Listen. You don't give yourself you give yourself no room to fight.
Yeah.
A friend of mine took forever to go to the doctor. Stage 4 cancer when they walked in. Very little opportunity to fight for your life at that point. I mean, we serve a God that can do anything.
Yeah.
He says he actually had it written out before the foundation of the world how many days we're going to live, and we don't live one day past that.
Right.
But come on.
Yeah.
Really? We
That's
can't do
a man thing right there. That's
so this
just
month
a
is
man
about
thing.
encouraging the man to go get the exams.
Well, the thing is, once I go on Monday, now I'm going to be encouraging all my buddies. All of my buddies. I mean, I have a buddy who did his
Once you go on
2
Monday,
weeks
why don't
ago.
you start encouraging them now? Start encouraging them to call some folks and say, I'm going.
At least I need to tell them a story. I need to tell them what
No,
it's all
you
about.
don't. No, you don't.
Tell them what it's all about.
No, you just tell them what I just told. 10 years. I've been waiting 10 years.
10 years.
Now I got to walk in here and pray to God.
Yeah.
That
everything
the
is
results
okay.
are great.
Yeah.
You know, give yourself a fighting chance. I wasn't thinking about this.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor.
Right.
You don't have to wait till Monday. That's the story you tell them.
Uh-huh.
Now you got to walk in there and you praying.
Right, exactly.
And now you know.
So now I'm looking forward to Monday. See?
Yeah, see, there you go.
Please, audience, go to the doctor,
But
man.
this addresses the question, though. This is exactly what it is. Man, those are the reasons.
There's nothing to fear.
And that's kind of what
women are having babies. You can have an exam.
Right, exactly, dude.
See, women are built for that.
You know what?
Yeah.
We
true.
know that, but that's no
true.
excuse. We know that we're built.
Oh,
we're
it's no excuse.
We're much
Trust me.
stronger than men.
Oh, for
we know
sure.
that.
For sure. For
Right,
sure.
exactly.
Women are the absolute bomb.
For
We
sure.
go for everything.
I know that.
For
we know
sure.
that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give you an excuse not
There's
to go.
no excuse.
We
And
having
that's why I'm
babies.
doing it.
We having 2 and 3 babies.
I know.
Right.
I met somebody have 4 babies today, and I was like, wow.
Right, exactly. And
She
look
had
good,
4.
too.
I was like, all I could think about was 4 babies.
4
Who
babies.
does that? And she's
like,
like 23. I was like, 23 with 4 kids?
Wow.
She says, yeah, and I'm getting the baby itch again. I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow. That would never be a man right there, right?
No, y'all wouldn't even make it. First of all, you could barely make it through the first one.
The first
But
one, maybe, and that's it.
We'd have a very small population.
That's it, man.
Alicia just tapped in. She tells me the class is watching us on their computers.
All right. I'm loving that.
Kids, how you guys are doing such a phenomenal job. So, guys.
Hey, kids, I'll see you soon.
This is Don. Don's
Great
going to come out and speak with you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Great job, kids. And I'm going to be there next week. Is it next
Wednesday,
week?
Gilbert is coming in
Next week. I'll be there, kids. And we're going to do some phenomenal things next week.
Yeah, so these kids are just absolutely awesome, guys. We got 23 kids from the ages of 12 to 17.
Yeah.
And I am just so impressed with all of them.
Well, you always foster a great group of young entrepreneurs anyway. Yeah. You've just got that thing about you that makes that happen. So kudos to you.
Yeah, Listen to this. I think that this is something that should be shared. The young lady who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, Laura, who was on the show, Laura Williams. She's about 21, I believe it is.
Yeah, she's
in her first year in college. Said, let me just, she has an amazing story about her life.
Yeah.
She said, let me just see what happens. And she wrote a letter about her life to a big chain, a big restaurant chain.
Yeah.
And they responded.
Oh, wow.
What did they say?
Absolutely. We want to do this with you.
Wow.
She was like, I was just trying to see what happens. Now she's figuring out her business plan.
You know what that means.
Now she's figuring out her executive summary, her business plan, and the total vision for her business. Isn't that amazing?
You know what?
It goes to show you it has nothing to do with your age. It's about your desire, your drive, and your determination to step. Go ahead.
Exactly.
So this is the young lady that was foster care, right? Mm-hmm. When she was adopted when she was a little girl. Mm-hmm. Her parents, neither one of them are in her life.
Wow.
Well, I think her birth mother is now in her life, right?
Excuse me?
Her birth mother was in her life, right?
No, I don't think so.
Kind of, sort of.
I'm not sure of the details, but
the father, she reached out to him, and he didn't want to have anything to do with her, and so she started a program,
right?
And she's living alone in Texas, going to school, and
but the good news about that is that she was adopted by an amazing family, an amazing family, and then the initial lady who adopted her passed away, and then my friend Debbie and her husband from McCord Memorial adopted this young lady and just poured everything into her and her brother. And they've just been amazing, absolutely amazing. So
you know what the moral of this story is right here, and as I listen, and I can equate this with entrepreneurs, which I really want to do. Mm-hmm. I want entrepreneurs to think about this. All she did was ask.
Yeah.
All she did. Yeah. That's how simple it is.
Yeah.
All you've got to do. A lot of people are afraid to be rejected. Entrepreneurs are afraid to be rejected because we've been rejected so many times. The thing about it is, entrepreneurs are designed to receive no's. Right. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Banks tell us no.
Yes.
Our customers tell us no. Contract providers tell us no. Our family tells us no.
That's part of the business.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we got to go beyond that and just keep going and search for that yes. That's what you did.
And that's something I talk to the kids about. When we started the class, is what are the characteristics of those that are entrepreneurial?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so there was courage. You were willing to take a risk.
Right.
You challenging. You like challenge.
Yeah.
You're a people person, and you were determined to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And so that's what we kind of taught. That was the kickoff of the class.
And the sooner you can get past the no's, you'll be ready for the yeses. I think Laura had experienced a lot of no's, a lot of rejection early in life. She's like, let me just try it. All they can say is no. I've heard that already.
Exactly.
I've heard no in some of the biggest areas of my life. I heard no to my mother wanted me, no to my father wanted me. What could you say to me?
All you need is no. Yes.
No means nothing after that.
Absolutely.
After a while, it means nothing.
Right.
And some of the biggest people in the world are adopted, have experienced so many no's. Kirk Franklin, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest entertainers in the world.
And the key thing about those no's that we always hear as entrepreneurs, what it does, it helps us to build that counteraction to them. Because once they start telling us no, our strategy is, even if you think that this isn't what you're looking for, here's how we can use this to help you. We can team up. We can do this. We're even willing to try this with you for free just to show you that it works. You see what I'm saying? That's what no does.
Yes.
No gives you that alternative to that solution.
And as you're building your business for the first couple of years, I mean, it's a struggle.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing easy about being an entrepreneur the first 2 years.
Oh, my God.
Only thing you know is you got a powerful why, kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is what we talked about today.
Yeah.
And you have a determination and a passion.
That's right.
And you are not going to stop at anything.
Right.
And all three of us at this, actually the four, including our guests, we're all entrepreneurial.
That's what I'm talking about.
And have you worked for a company before? I don't know.
Yeah.
You have?
For a moment.
Gosh,
that's good.
You know what we probably should do?
The interesting thing is, there are times when we probably should be working for somebody else. But as entrepreneurs, once you get bit by this bug,
as entrepreneurs, you can't work for anyone else because you know what your purpose is.
Yeah.
Your purpose is not to do that 9 to 5, to punch that clock.
Yeah.
Your purpose is to create that innovative idea and go out and make it happen.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's okay because sometimes you need consistent money to fuel the vision.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes so you got to know when to go in.
You got to know when to leave. You got to know. Sometimes you need the money. If it's a nighttime job, it's kind of like
a stopgap.
Yeah.
It's a stopgap
Absolutely.
thing.
And it's okay if you have to go back for a moment to kind of pick up the pieces and relaunch. Because I've been in business for over 17 years. I've been an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I know I'm about 26.
She's a baby.
You're 26.
It's interesting. As a trainer, I've never worked for another company.
Yeah.
When I started training. Yeah. But there was like I said, there's times I probably should have been working for another company. But you just persevere and you just push through.
Right, exactly.
Just make it happen.
I found ways to be very flexible. I actually, when I worked for a company, I knew I was going in for a certain reason and a purpose, and I had an exit strategy and an exit date as to what I was going to go get, what I was going there for to get.
Yeah.
And then when I got it, then I was ready to walk out the door and move on into my business.
I actually think I started my business the hard way. Because when you're working for a company as a trainer, you're able to those customers you get, the clients you get, they like you, they fall in love with you. You're with them for a year, 6 months, and then when you leave, they leave with you.
Yeah.
You can. It's a great way to start. I tell everyone, start in the gym because that's where your advertisement is done for you, and then you can walk those clients right out the door with you because they're following you if you're a great trainer. This is the one I lost the weight with. This is the one who taught me how to eat. This is the one who helped me get to where I am, and they're going to leave with you because they're faithful.
Yeah, it depends on the industry you're in because your industry that works.
Yeah, of
certain other industries it doesn't work that way, but you got to pave a path. So while you're there working, you're working on paving that path too.
Right.
Like Crystal, for example, she was in the accounting, bookkeeping, payroll field. So where she worked, it was a little different for her to take all those people because depending on what the agreement that you have with that employer.
Right.
You know, some of them may have a non-compete clause where you can't compete against them for the next 5 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you know, so it really depends.
But what I did was I developed an outside clientele so that when I did leave, I had a very stable client
to
list.
Make that transition.
To make the transition, to make sure that there was enough money that was going to compensate me for what I was going to be losing when I walked away, right? So it took a couple of years to develop it to that point. And at that point in time, I was really networking and meeting with very strategic partners. So I partnered up with a lot of tax preparers and CPAs that didn't have in-house bookkeeping. And so then they start referring the business to me. And then I kind of expanded out to people in real estate and people in the mortgage business, which they make a lot of money and they don't do their books the way they're supposed to, right? But they need to. So that was kind of how. So when I got X number of clients, I was like, okay, I'm ready to rock and roll and I'm ready to leave. And so I started playing. So it was an executed plan.
And that's a good way to make a transition. The ones that really I give a lot of props to are the ones who started with their back against the wall. They didn't have a transition to make.
Right, which is what you're saying, right?
You see what I'm saying? They had to start. They had to rough it, you know, and just start. They may be terminated from a job and they're going, okay, what do I do? Or they can't get a job because of the color of their skin, their ethnicity, whatever. So they said, you know, we're going to do our own thing. We're not going to try to work for anyone. But what I'm curious about right now, I'm really curious about our next guest on this platform to see how she got started, what type of, whether she had to transition, where she started with her back against the wall.
And she has a phenomenal career.
Yeah,
so it's gone through, it's metamorphosed through so many different directions and until where she's gotten, and she's still growing and evolving. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear that. So we got 3 minutes to break time. And have we talked about our sponsors yet, Crystal?
No, we haven't. You want to do the honors?
Yes. So one of our sponsors is the Department of General Services, State of California. They've been supporting the Business Zone here for almost a year now. And their job is to help small businesses with certifications, providing contract opportunities so small businesses can really break out and access those opportunities. Whether you're a micro business or you're a small business, then they have contract opportunities on their website that you can access. These opportunities are also on the Small Biz Pro website. So if you tap into that, you'll be able to see all those opportunities that the state of California has. We also have 2 other sponsors, and one of them is
Recycling Black Dollars, an organization that's been in our community for over 30 years. We are the consciousness in our community to make sure you are recycling your black dollars and taking care of our community. It is of the utmost urgency at this day and age that we do that, because we are at no place. Well, here we are with our backs up against the wall, and we got to start we have to become self-sufficient.
That's right.
And for a minute, we got to be selfish.
Yep.
Yes.
And we almost have to be the ones that create the segregation.
That's right.
So we can get whole,
yes.
Then we can come back and integrate.
That's right.
But we got to be whole right now. We got to be taking care of our own. And today I had an excellent conversation with our kids about that, about the dollar circulating 6 hours. And they were looking at, and their little eyes, these are young people, and they're like, wow. Yeah. And when I started saying about black banks and making sure that wherever I shop, I think black first.
Yeah.
And then I come back down and they were listening.
Excellent.
Whenever you work out, you think black first.
I think black first.
and our third sponsor is Small Biz Pro. That's owned and operated by myself, yours truly, Buchanan and Associates. And the purpose of Small Biz Pro is to help small businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. And it's an excellent platform where you can upload all your documents and access them in seconds. Whether you're located throughout the world, anywhere in the world you are, you can access that. So that's our 3 sponsors for this show. We've got some great potential sponsors trying to get in on this. So Crystal and I, we're going to try to reach out. For those of you who are just tuning in, you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal. No, you first.
Gilbert.
And
we're going to have a phenomenal show here today. We've got a great guest coming up. So we're going to go ahead and take a break right now. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make it.
And it doesn't even have to be a conversation. It can just be us playing. You know what I'm saying? What do you think is best?
See, if you let them tell it, I'm a figment of your imagination. I'm not even really here.
What happened?
But you'll never know that, because everything I do from now on will change the narrative. And so will you. We will be the difference. We will change the rules. We will set a higher standard.
Okay.
They say black fathers aren't around. They know if they create that to be true, we'll believe it. So we have no choice but to flood culture with the images of black fathers being around, black fathers being there, black fathers being present. I'll do that for you, and you'll do that for your sons and daughters. Because you are a gift. And when they say black fathers don't exist, I want you to speak up to that. I want you to tell them your experience. Because we got to clear the path for the ones coming after us. Family is the most important thing we have. Now, you know Papa ain't perfect, but you will always see me apologize. You always see me try. And I'll never give up on this family. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, Papa.
All right. Everybody in the world got someone they love.
Goosebumps bumping all over me. You're adding texture to my melanin. Ha, I'm blushing now. I didn't know dark skin could do that. And you lacing caterpillars in my sushi wraps like there's butterflies in my belly. I never tripped and fell in love with yo, I stand for we. And I like the way that you.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Gilbert,
and Don.
All right. Now we got it right this time. And for those of you small biz pros that have been watching the show for the last 8 weeks without yours truly, Don was doing a great job filling in for me and working with our queen bee, Crystal, providing you information for your small businesses. This was wonderful. That was a treat. So now what we're going to do today, we're going to take you to another page of our program. And Crystal, who do we have in the studios today?
We have Tana in session. You guys gonna have to forgive me. I've been around 23 children with all kinds of wild names, and I told the kids, right now, this is my disclaimer. I won't know your full names until the last week before the competition. And on top of that, I just got back. I got done with Mount Sac.
Oh,
so I had
Lord.
15 people there. Forgive me.
You are excused. You're excused. So our special guest in the studio is Miss Tana Sessions.
Yes.
She was born in New York City foster care system and remained there until she was 3.5 years old. She experienced various hardships throughout her life, but learned that they were not her fault, but they were her problem. She set out to establish a life that was quantum leaps from where she started. Tana has built a successful career in human resources and a successful business in spite of her background, and she continues to use her adversities as fuel and not excuses. Over the years, she has held almost every human resource position imaginable while building her resume and expertise in the profession. She holds a bachelor's degree in business administration and an MBA in organizational psychology and development. She also attained multiple certifications in the field of human resources and is a certified trained career and life coach. And in addition, she previously owning her own business, she has served as the top human resource leader of multiple companies, including the for-profit and non-profit organizations. This young lady has been on probably every television show. She was on Forbes. She is just doing her thing. She has 3 amazing books. Inside the Revolving Door, Get Your Career Life in Order, and The Little Book of Motivation and Inspiration, which is your latest.
Yes.
I haven't even got the first book out. You at least have co-authored a couple books, right?
Yes, I have.
And you and I got work to do.
We still got work to do. Our special guest here, Miss Tana Sessions. She is what I think I would like to grow up to be.
Oh, boy.
Really? Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
She is doing things. And in today's time and space, HR has a special place right about now.
Yes.
And I think as an independent more so than working for a company.
Yeah.
Because I think with everything that's going on at companies, I mean, every time you turn on the television, every time you open up a newspaper or your YouTube, some company, some employee that's representing that company
got fired.
They got fired and have stepped so far out the line of humanity is beyond belief. So how are we dealing with this kind of stuff right now?
Well, to be in HR now is a great time, right?
Yes.
Because people have so little respect for HR for many, many years. We were the gatekeepers. We were the people who in their mind, did the hiring and the firing.
Right.
And now they're leaning on us to bring in appropriate training. They didn't listen to us before. I'm going to speak for my profession because I know some really good HR people. And we've tried to police a lot of the bad behavior. And oftentimes we were either dismissed or told to get with the program. And if you didn't like it, you can go somewhere else.
Oh, wow.
I've heard that many
really?
times. Yes. And so now they're respecting the fact that HR really are the gatekeepers. We're the ones that's putting these policies in place and also making sure that the leaders are being trained, that the messaging is coming from the top down, and that they are walking the walk and talking the talk at the same time.
And I was so impressed with Howard Schwartz for the proactive reaction that he had to what went at Starbucks.
Yeah.
I thought that he just jumped right in there, which is not usual, is it? That's abnormal.
It was abnormal. I think because of the publicity, he had no choice.
Okay.
So myself and some of my HR colleagues, we've talked about this.
Okay.
And it would be interesting to see if it sustains. So I did go by a couple of Starbucks just to make sure they were closed, and they were.
Yeah, they were closed.
Oh, they were?
They were closed.
They're closing once a month now, from my understanding, because the one on La Brea in Cincinnati made an announcement when I was there the other day. We're closing for a day for training, so...
Yeah, so I know that they're rolling out this training, but again, it has to be a cultural thing. So they have to make sure they're bringing in the right people that are going to live by this new culture that they're trying to set with the training, that when they see things go awry, that they will react in real time and not wait for it to escalate. Okay. And make examples of people if they have to.
Right.
So.
Because in the past, sometimes those issues or circumstances or situations got pushed under a rug, right? And felt that because, let's take Harvey Weinstein, for example. Their HR department definitely knew that was going on for the time frame. Right. And even with Matt Lauer, they knew that.
That's right.
And so that's from the top down, right?
Yes.
And they were not dealing with the issue from the top down.
Exactly. And I wrote an article for Forbes when this first happened and I wrote it as an HR professional. And I said, basically, where was HR when all this happened? Because I hold my colleagues accountable. Because we do have a due diligence of what our role is. And we can't get blinded by power, money, position, fear of our own position, because then you lose the trust of the employees, and then they start reporting. So they start reporting, then we won't know what's happening because it won't come across our desk. It won't come through an email. We won't get an anonymous letter in the mail. And I've experienced all of those throughout my career. But if employees don't feel that the system is there to support them and that they can trust, they won't be retaliated against, treated differently, not promoted. Starting to get written up for things that they used to do all the time that was never a problem. If that level of trust is not there, then you can guarantee they're not going to report when things happen. So HR's job is to have that level of trust, develop that type of culture by working with leadership to make certain that employees feel that they have a place to report these types of things, especially now.
Well, Tana, I want to welcome you to the Business Zone once again. And thank you. And I want to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room. Ooh. First, I want to thank you for doing a great job with the human resources.
Thank you.
Because you're taking a little different spin to it. And I think I understand why you're taking a different spin. But let's talk a little bit first about that elephant in the room. Most employees, they don't really trust HR.
Right.
And part of the reason is because over the years, HR tend to work for the best interest of the organization instead of the employees. So if an employee went up to HR and shared something confidential, somehow, some way, that confidential stuff is shared with somebody else that had no business knowing about that.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why a lot of employees lose trust with HR. A lot of individuals, they may have career goals and plans, and they take that to HR, and HR shut it down. So I would just like you to address a little bit why you take the approach that you do. Is it because you were an employee at one time and you saw how HR have been treating people and you decide to make a change to that? Or what is it? Because you have an insightful approach to it. So share with our audience.
That is a fantastic question. And I'll be the first to say that everyone in HR doesn't deserve to be in HR.
Right.
I've come across some good ones and some bad ones.
Yes.
And, unfortunately, people are jaded because of bad experiences. So they carry that with them even when they go to another company. So I get it. I absolutely get it. But one of the reasons why I stepped out of corporate and decided to do HR on my own terms is because you're right. I saw how employees were being treated. I ran into issues with CEOs who they had in mind who they wanted to promote, even if the person really wasn't qualified, although we knew someone else was. So they would make excuses for keeping this person back. And it could be a person of color. It could be a woman. And those things I couldn't digest.
Right.
And I wasn't comfortable being part of the problem and not being part of the solution.
Right.
So when I stepped out almost 3 years ago and said I want to do HR consulting, I want to do career coaching, I specifically wanted to work with women and people of color because I wanted them to have the tools that they needed to be successful if they decided to stay in corporate. Right. Because a lot of things that no one's going to tell them. They're not going to tell them what types of things are being said around the table.
Right.
They're not going to tell them what types of things they need to do to get in the door. They're not going to tell them what they need to do or say to get that interview and how to nail that interview for themselves if they're a good fit.
Right.
So that's really what my goal was when I stepped out. And I've been fortunate over the last 3 years to work with a lot of people, seeing them land those jobs that they wanted. And some of them even leave and start their own businesses because that was a better fit. And that's what I talk about. It's like, what really is a good fit? Because sometimes you are trying to put a square peg into a round hole.
Right.
So you're going to get frustrated. HR is going to get frustrated.
Right.
Your supervisor is going to get frustrated.
Right.
So can we find some of those ideas in this book here?
Yes. So in that book, Get Your Career Life in Order, I started doing speaking engagements, and I had so many people ask questions that I just didn't have time to answer.
Right.
I started collecting them, and I said, I'm just going to make a book and give them what they need.
That's beautiful.
So I did things based on what I saw work in the companies I've been with, and I've been with Fortune 500s. I've been with small companies, big companies, for-profit, not-for-profit. I've worked directly, reported directly to CEOs for the last 10, 12 years. So I can get inside their heads.
Right.
And so I took that and I put the book together, Get Your Career Life in Order. And I stepped people from, it's 11 steps. And it's a playbook. So I tell them, start with your why. So that's the very thing they have to do. It's really, it's a workbook. They have to talk about why do you want to make this move right now? Or why do you want this promotion? So you got to understand what that is.
Right.
And then from there, I talk to them about, how do you now go to find resources for the types of jobs that you're interested in? What do those jobs look like? What do you do and don't want? Right? Because sometimes we make emotional decisions and we just want to move. I'm challenging people to be more strategic about those moves in this book.
And it's interesting you said that, Gilbert, but when you first start working, especially if you're a young person just starting your career, you do believe that HR is there for you, right? Because that's what isn't that what the handbook tells you?
Exactly.
If you got any problems, go to HR, right?
Exactly. That is what we say.
And then you go to HR and you're like, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah.
Right? And then you see those problems. And I've always worked hand in hand with HR. And so it was kind of an interesting thing because I'm more of a nurturing people person.
Right.
And so from a payroll standpoint, because that's how I interacted with, so same kind of thing. We're still dealing with issues, but I always took a more humane approach. And so they usually would come to me and not HR because they didn't feel like they were getting what they were going to get. Or being heard. And then I would then go to HR and say, look, here's some of the circumstances that they've shared with me. And so let's see whatever. But they're told HR is there for you. Whatever problems you have, don't let them fester. Come to us and we will mediate between you and your supervisor.
Now, tell me if this is a misconception, right?
Okay.
Are we supposed to see HR as a mentor, a coach, and a facilitator? Or am I totally looking at it the wrong way?
It depends on the organization. It really does. The role of HR can morph and change based on the needs of the organization. So I started doing more coaching in my last couple of jobs because I had the flexibility to do that. A lot of HR people don't. I was able to mentor because a lot of times I was the only one who looked like me in the organization that was in a leadership role. So everyone who looked like me in the company said, help me get there. Or how did you get there? So I had to kind of take on the cloak of, okay, I'm representing everyone that looks like me around this table when I'm sitting here. And I had to, is that normal?
No, that's not.
Too funny.
So I had to think about, everyone that kind of came in the room with me when I showed up. A lot of HR people aren't there yet. And that's okay because they kind of started HR when it was very transactional and tactical and not strategic. And so now a lot of people are morphing into what they call the human resources business partner or the human capital business partner, where you're really integrated with the company. You're integrated with either a business unit or a particular manager, so you can really understand what the needs are of his people. And if he is strategic, then he understands that having HR in the room and at the table when they're making decisions is the best thing to do because we're on the forefront bringing people in and we're on the back end when they leave. Because
I'm sorry to hog this, but
that's okay.
I'm kind of going back to my experience as an employee.
Okay.
And I'm also looking at myself as an entrepreneur also. Now, if someone enters a company in a junior level and their aspiration is to get to that managerial level, maybe a senior manager, no one is really there to prep them and guide them and provide them training. So HR should be that one person or one entity that identifies certain traits within that person and say, you got leadership qualities. You got leadership, you got management qualities. And through assessments and evaluations, help them to get to that level. Isn't that what it's supposed to be?
No, actually it's not. So the managers, because they have direct relationships with that employee. So HR really is, if you could think of us almost as a third party. So we're not dealing with that employee day in and day out. We don't necessarily know what their skills are unless we start seeing performance reviews come through. That's when HR is on the radar now. We're like, oh, okay, this person's considered a high performer. This person's on the track for succession planning. Now, they're on our radar, but it's not up to us to say, okay, this should be your next step. Their manager really is supposed to be that first line in terms of a mentor, someone who's helping them develop their career. We can come in on the sidelines and help support those initiatives by making certain that are they being aligned to the right projects based on what we said the goals were for this individual. These are the things that we're looking for at the next level. Here are their gaps. Are we getting them the training or the coaching to fill those gaps? So we are holding down the managers accountable for that career path, but we're not, and it can happen, but strategically, it usually doesn't happen that way.
Interesting.
And isn't my girlfriend was an HR director. She worked for the food division of Continental Airlines before they merged with United, and so they had a different approach because it came from the top, just as you said. Their GM was very people oriented, so they had Employee Appreciation Day, and she was very hands-on with her employees. That, in fact, one time I remember there was an employee that didn't show up to work, but he was very, very dependable and was always at working time. Had been working for the company for like 20-something years, and one day he didn't show up, and so the employees came. And it's like, we don't know what's going on. Not in a sense, where is this person, and we're about to fire him because he's AWOL, right? They were like, so she sent out someone that she knew who was close to him. They went to his house and he had died over the weekend. And so they actually made all the arrangements to reach his family and so forth and so on. So, but again, Continental Airlines or the airlines at that time, it's a whole different animal now, but they were, they're governed by the FAA. Yeah. So whatever they did was above reproach. In fact, she was saying, it would be, now that United merged, when United merged with Continental, the whole environment changed. Yeah. So they were no longer employee first or associate, because that's what they called them. Culture. They were, it was all coming from the top, and it was all about money, and we don't even care about the employees at this point.
Yeah. Dawn, you have a question?
I'm trying to grasp how independent HR employee works.
I'm kind of doing the same
so
thing.
As
a consultant.
Okay. So tell me exactly, what do you do with companies? So give me a clear view of this.
Sure. So I have this one client I'm working with now. They're looking to grow.
Meaning a company?
Yes.
Okay. Small company?
It's a small company.
Okay.
With multiple locations here in California. And they're looking to grow. And what they don't have really is, they started as a mom and pop, very, the CEO led from the heart, and he cares about his employees, but they're kind of running amok.
Okay.
So they're at a point now where they're getting ready to grow. They need some structure. They need some policies and procedures, so they are prepared for the amount of growth that he wants to see. And also, he can pull himself out of the day-to-day operations as CEO. So he's not the one who's saying, yes, you can have that time off. It's okay if you haven't earned it. We're still going to pay you. Now my job is to come in and give him the policies that he can refer employees back to say, oh, well, you've already used your vacation.
Okay.
You can't go in the hole for more than this many days, and you've gone into the hole. So now either you can not take the time off, or you can take it off and not get paid. So now he'll have something to stand on, a foundation to stand on.
Policies and procedures.
Yeah, and do like a cultural assessment. So I go in and I kind of get a sense of, what is the culture here, and where are you trying to take the company?
Okay.
So compared to where you are right now to where you want to go, what is it going to take to get you there? What types of infrastructure? What types of policies and procedures? What types of training? Do you need to have career pathing for your employees? Okay. And if so, what does that look like? Let's look at job descriptions. Are they clearly defined, and do they really fit the needs of what you need for that individual in that role?
All right, so that's what you do for the company. Do you do anything for the employees that are within the company?
It depends. So sometimes there's training specifically that they want rolled out for their employees. So I'm talking to another client now. They're looking for specific training because they had employees who now they're in these leadership roles, and they don't really have leadership skills. They had good tactical skills where they knew their job, but they've been put into manager roles, and now they have to learn interpersonal skills, how to manage people, how to follow policy and procedure, how to write people up in the 3-step process. So that types of training I'll be doing with them to help them close those gaps.
I'm going to try to clarify something here, because I think I kind of know what HR is about, but I just and I'm not just saying from your standpoint. Right. I'm just speaking globally. But I just want to clarify.
Okay.
So, do you follow basketball?
Well, I just watched the game that the Warriors won. That was about all the basketball I watched.
Are you serious?
She watched the championships.
How about football?
No.
Okay. So, I'm not really into football either, but I kind of follow it. And I also understand the principle.
Okay.
So, the commissioner of those sports, their job is to advocate on behalf of the owners of the team, not the players, even though it's called all of whatever it's called, right? So when a player comes in, they might be thinking that the commissioner is going to be looking out for their best interest, but not really. So they have to go to the Players Association and the unions and all of that. with HR, is HR looking out for the best interests of the organization as opposed to the employees?
HR jobs is to mitigate risk. So
for the company,
right?
Bam, that's it.
So let me. This is a good question because let's take football right now with Colin Kaepernick. And so if HR is there to mitigate risk for the company, they had a whole big risk right about now.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a gaping hole.
Yeah. I wish I could get my hands on it.
I know because
that's a juicy one.
Yeah, because the players are actually talking about sitting out the season, and that's what I've said.
Yeah.
They don't even have to sit out a full season.
Right.
All they have to do is sit out the first, either the first 10 games or the 10 games before the Super Bowl or before the playoffs. And that would be
they're going to lose a lot of revenue.
Because last year they made $14 billion, and that was the owners, the ESPN, all the affiliates that are involved in that industry.
And that's going to change behavior.
That will change behaviors, right?
That's right.
So when you look at that, when we talk about mitigating risk, what are their HR? And it would have to be an outside consultant.
Right, exactly.
That is not going to happen from the internal, right?
And that's why
they have too much to lose.
That's why I've been asking the questions I have, because previously, before now, you have companies, they bring in their own HR people, and those people used to be part of the team, an employee of the company, but then they're HR. So then we're, as an employee, we're thinking, okay, HR is for us, but not really. HR is there to mitigate risk on behalf of the company.
And that's why there's no trust.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why there's no trust.
That's our first in command, right? That's what we are hired to do, is to help them mitigate risk and help them walk the line of what they're saying in their handbooks they stand behind.
Right.
Now,
so when you get the letters from the employees that says things are happening and you're told from the upper management to kill it, you got to kill it.
Yeah.
You can. Now, you do have people who push the envelope in a good way. So you'll have people that will come back and say, look, if this is not resolved, if this is not investigated, or if this is not handled based on our policy, here's what's going to happen. So then it's a matter of, okay, leadership needs to make the decision how they want to move forward. So that's what I'm saying about mitigating the risk. So we're going to hold them to the fire in terms of policy and procedure, legally what we can and can't do. Sometimes it helps if we have internal legal counsel or external employment counsel we can bring in to support us in terms of what we're recommending. But that's all we do. Same thing with hiring. We just recommend hire this person. We think they're going to be a good fit. It's up to the manager to say, okay, I'm going to hire them. So
exactly.
Well, we're having a great conversation. Sorry to interrupt you, co-host. But this is a great subject. So we're at the top of the hour. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick break and come right back?
Just before we take a quick break, there's a question from on Facebook. Candace. Candace. Hey, Candace.
Hey,
How
Candace.
are you? She wants to know, do you write employee handbooks?
I do.
Okay,
beautiful.
Candace. That's your response.
Yeah, we write them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Gilbert,
and Dawn.
All right. And our special guest today is Tana Sessions, and she's a phenomenal HR consultant and entrepreneur. So we're going to get back into this, and we're going to get into the belly of the beast. So let's take a break.
The belly of the beast.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Gilbert,
and Dawn.
All right. And
I'm loving this. We have to redo the commercial.
We just branded Dawn into the show, so we're going to have to do some trademarks and some copywriting here so she can get her cut.
Yes. I like that. I like the way this guy.
He's an entrepreneur.
And our special guest is Miss Tana Sessions, and she's an HR consultant and specialist, and she also is an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And she's been providing us some great insight and information and the whole dynamics of HR.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Candace again. She says Tana will be with the boutique tomorrow with Cosette White. Dr. Cosette White has been a guest on the show as well. I'll tell you, she's everywhere.
Excellent.
And also great topics, ladies, and Gilbert.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Candace. Thank you.
Thank you, Candace.
So, Tana, why don't you tell us a little bit, because I'm sure you've got some books that you want to talk about also. So,
and a tour that you're doing in Atlanta. And
to share a little of that with us.
Okay, so yes, I said I left corporate almost 3 years ago now and started my business as TMS Business Solutions. But I branded as TanaMSession.com. So TanaMSession.com, follow me. And I offer, coaching for individuals as well as going into companies and doing consulting, leadership and executive coaching, as well as training, etc. And I started my own live events this year. And so what happened late last year, I was applying for all of these speaking engagements. So you guys talked about entrepreneurs here and know all the time. And I was sitting over there like, I was applying for all of these speaking engagements for 2018, and I wasn't getting selected. And so I told my husband, I said, I'm just going to create my own event. And I'll do it my way, and I'll have my people come, my tribe, and just get in front of them and do an event. And I'll bring in some speakers, like the same thing I was trying to get involved in as a speaker. I said, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to have the stage, and then other speakers will have to come to me. And that's exactly what happened. So I started out in New York in May, and then I'm taking it to Atlanta in August. And so people say, well, why not LA? Well, I'm originally from New York. In case you can't tell.
Well, no, I hear, because I'm from New York as well. Yeah. I hear it there.
So I'm originally from New York, and I had so many friends and family there asking me to come speak because they've seen everything I've been doing since I left. And I said, well, I'm trying to get booked, but I'm not getting selected. So I said, I'm going to go home first. So I'll go to New York. Went to New York in May, had a phenomenal event, great turnout, nice size group of ladies that showed up. So it's called Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. It's a one-day masterclass for women. And
Is it paid?
What do you mean?
Do they
have to pay?
Yes. So there's a ticket to come in, and it's a full day. So we're there from 8 to 4:30. It includes lunch. I have a couple of guest speakers come in, and we're just pouring into them for the entire day. And we're talking to them about how to own their power, their truth, their healing, their worth, and their destiny. And we talk about career advice. We talk about business advice. We talk about personal issues that women, especially women of color, we have historical and generational wounds that we have to heal in order to be successful. So again, we tend to make emotional decisions without realizing why we're making these decisions or why these triggers are happening. So that's what I walked them through. And I took it to Atlanta in August because I lived there for many years as well, and still have a great amount of supporters and followers there. And so now I'm gearing up for that, and I'm promoting that right now.
Awesome.
You just said something that's very interesting, that some women make emotional decisions and they don't know why. Can you elaborate on that a little bit and give us an example?
Okay. So I'll give you an example of a client. She came to me thinking that she just wanted a new job. And I said, okay, that's a symptom. We need to look at what the problem is. And so when we started digging deeper into her issues in the workplace, we found out that those issues really resonated from things she hadn't dealt with from home, from growing up. So I tell people it's like a funnel. I start up here, and then by the time I get down here, we found out what that problem was. And now this is what we need to be dealing with, this mess right here. All of this up here were the symptoms of everything that you never dealt with. So we're told to get over things. We're told that you should be okay. We're told that, we have to put on a superwoman cape and wear it all day long and be wise, significant others, mothers, employees, business owners, everything we do in the community, and we never take time for ourselves. And so we don't give ourselves that time and that permission to deal with historical or generational things that have impacted us. And now these things manifest and they show up in different ways. So you act out in the workplace, you act out in relationships, you act out with your children, you act out with your friends, your girlfriends, you wonder why you don't have friends. So all of these things, and that's what I deal with in my coach. So my coach program is called Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. Yeah. And that's what I walk all of my clients through on an individual basis. But I do it on a very high level at my events.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and we do have some internal stuff. We have stuff that
I don't.
Don,
she must have been through my program.
No, Don works hers out on the weights, man. Because you haven't seen anything.
I leave it right there on the floor.
Until you see this little powerball over here in the gym.
I don't have issues.
Right. Most women think they don't.
Yeah.
Most women think that they don't.
That's true.
That's true. So, and if you don't have a coping mechanism, I was just telling someone that today, last week, or no, actually 2 days ago, that especially if you serve, if you are, your business is about service, then, everybody's piling their stuff on you. Yeah. But there's never a time where you stop and take care of you, right? And when it's like being a psychologist, right? And that's part of the you're hearing all of their problems and all their issues. And you got your own, but some of theirs are so much worse than yours that you push yours. You keep pushing yours down. And in our business, I am very excited about holidays because people don't call me.
Yeah.
If it's Thanksgiving, they with family. If it's Christmas, it's with family. If it's 4th of July, they're with family. They don't call me because other than that, they call all the time. And it's not that I don't love you, clients. I do, but
that is too funny.
Right, but that's why I started working. One of the reasons I started working out. One of the reasons I play tennis on Saturday mornings is because folks know I don't answer phones on Saturday morning because I'm on a tennis court. I don't even have my phone on me.
That's awesome.
And then the dancing, the music going on, I can't even hear phone. Only thing it's doing is recording my calories that I'm working out in. And I did that so I could have me time. It's important to have me time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then do you have some me time?
I do. Yes. Yeah. So I have certain days when I do calls with clients because you're right. You're taking that energy on, right? And when I'm coaching, I have to be so in tune and actively listening to understand, like, what are they not saying, right? So I have to be really tuned in. So it does take a lot of energy. And then same thing with speaking. It takes a lot of energy. Like I told my husband that this weekend. I spoke on Saturday, and I came home and I was just like, I just need to take a nap. And he's like, all you did was talk.
Right, like that's something easy, right?
That's energy, and you're giving energy, you're getting it back.
All you did was talk. You tried talking all day.
That's right. So I definitely have my me time. I give myself permission to take naps. I embrace them now, and I definitely have certain days when I will talk to clients, certain days when I won't, because I need to also be able to run my business on the back end. So
exactly. Yeah. You have to debrief yourself.
Yeah, you do.
I know. In fact, one of the children in the camp, these are young kids, right? And so we're there from 9 o'clock in the morning. They have to be there at 8:30, from 9 to 5. So he says to me today was day 3, so yesterday was day 2. He goes, I said, so what did you guys learned? And let me know over what you've learned over the last 3 days. He goes, last night I recognized that I'm not quite ready for the 9 to 5 grind.
How old is he?
I think he's 11, 12. And I said, why? He said, because I was asleep by 6:30.
Hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Hey, that's a great program.
That is hilarious.
That's why we have child labor laws.
Right, exactly. And he said it, and he's like a little Obama. We call him the Obama. He's tall, fit, and he'll talk, and you know how Obama has that.
Where he
pauses.
pauses.
He'll pause, he'll look around, and then, okay. And he says, I realize I'm not ready for the 9 to 5 grind.
That is cute.
No, I feel you, kid.
That's right. I feel you.
Because we feel you, so that's why. So, Gilbert, I don't know if you do the downtime.
I really don't, and I should.
Oh, what?
Because I'm here listening to you guys, and I'm going, I should, because you see how you take Saturdays? 24/7.
Yeah, no, you got to.
People call me like after 9 at night, with business issues, and I'm going, Man, I respond. I help them.
Yeah, and you have to. Don, you take downtown, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, she goes to the gym like in the middle of the night. She had goals at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm going to have to adopt the policy that you three have.
Yeah, it works for men too. It works for men too.
I feel like I am a bartender sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, because
they ain't everyone's problem.
They like a counselor, right?
Yes.
They come to you.
Especially when I'm trying to help them with their diet. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Oh my gosh, he didn't call me last night, so I had potato chips. The whole bag.
Can't eat just one.
Oh my goodness. And then they go into I'm trying to, okay, so you had potato chips. Why? Because he didn't call me. And then I'm trying to talk about, okay, so now I need you to do that. And then they just go into all the
something
about
else.
The relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, and I get stuck there listening to the relationship stuff. I just want to talk about the diet.
Is it because it sounds juicy?
No,
or you
I just got to let them, I have to let them
because they're not going to stop.
I can't ignore it
right?
Because people overeat for different reasons, just like you said, when you get to the issue. And the issue is, and unfortunately, I can't fix the relationship.
Yeah.
I can try to just give you an outlet and try to help you. You got to use exercising as your outlet instead of going to eat candy or eating unhealthy. I need to go to the gym. When you feel like that, go to the gym. That's what I do. He ain't called me. I go to the gym so much because ain't nobody called.
And then she be taking big old 75-pound weights.
Where is he, Lord? Where is he?
Why is he not
when he show up,
I'll show him.
Get it right. By the time he come, I'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? You said it. Don't eat.
So, Tana, you have 3 books. You want to tell us about each one of them?
Yes. So the first book is called Inside the Revolving Door. Which I show it here?
Yeah.
Here?
Right there.
Okay. Inside the Revolving Door: Chronicles from the HR from the Human Resources Department. So this is it's a fictional book. And I wrote this. This is my first book I wrote, and I did it as soon as I left corporate. So I looked at all of the crazy employee relations issues that I dealt with over my career, and I also interviewed some of my HR colleagues, and I said, tell me some of the craziest things that have come across your desk. So these stories are, I would say, fictionalized to protect the guilty.
Right. Except for number 7. It probably represents number 45. Right. Chapter 7 is the horrible boss.
Yeah. So I wrote it because I wanted people to have some empathy for the things that HR deals with and understand what we do behind the closed door when you aren't allowed to know what we're dealing with on a daily basis and what types of things get reported to us and how do we deal with them. So that's what that book does. It kind of walks you through some of those employee relations issues. And they're funny ones. There's some people tell me they clutched their pearls, they cracked and laughed out loud. They were shocked that this really happened. Again, they're fictional stories.
This is like the inside secret.
It's like it's inside the revolving door.
Inside the revolving door. So tell me about the manager in therapy.
Oh, boy. There are lots of managers that need to be in therapy.
Hilarious.
That are in denial. They're in denial.
Right.
And then the second book I wrote is called Get Your Career Life in Order. Sorry.
No, let's go.
And this is the one that went to bestseller. And this is the one I said when I started doing speaking engagements and talking to people about career management and job hunting, I took a lot of the questions that they were asking me and I just really gave them behind the scenes. If you were sitting in front of someone, that could tell you everything they could about how to get a job at that company, that's what this book does.
And this book speaks to the someone looking for a job. You have a chapter called The First 90 Days. So what do you tell us in the first 90 days?
So the first 90 days, when you get the job or even a promotion. So I tell people this is for someone who is looking for a new job, looking for a job because maybe they aren't working. They're looking to get promoted, so there's career management advice in here. There's also information here for entrepreneurs in terms of building your brand and networking. Right. The first 90 days talks about, I said the president has his first 100 days report that he comes back and he tells you what he's done the first 100 days and compared to what he promised when he, got reelected or elected. Yeah. The first 90 days is your way of doing that as well. So you need to sit down with your boss, understand what are the goals that they have for you in that position. It oftentimes changes a little from when you were interviewed to you actually got in the seat. So you want to understand exactly what is it that they want you to be able to accomplish in that job within the first 90 days. And then that's your way of being able to come back, hold yourself accountable. Your manager's also going to hold you accountable. And you'll know who you need to meet with during that time, so you get to build some internal relational equity, you know, so understanding who are the people I need to meet with on my team, outside of my team, my peers, the people above me, below me, to make yourself successful. So that's what you really do in those 90 days, just setting yourself up for success.
I like that.
And then the chapter, who's on your front row?
Yeah. So who's on your front row is all about your personal board of directors. So we are our brand, regardless if you work for a company or work for yourself. So when you walk in the door, you're representing yourself as a brand for what you're going to deliver in that role, whether you're an administrative assistant or you're the CEO. So who's in your front row talks about how to find yourself a mentor, how to find yourself a sponsor, an advocate, and then also understanding, who needs to be, even a coach. Who do you need to, what types of personalities, what types of characteristics, who should you be looking for to fill those roles for you in your front row? And they may change over time, especially as you're growing in your career and your business, but you always want to have that board of directors that you can run things by, who you trust, that you know have your best interests at heart. Even if you're more successful than them, it's a matter of them being able to tell you from their own experience how they would handle certain situations. But they should be the people that you fully trust, and you know that they want to see you succeed. And
this is whether you're an entrepreneur or an employee. An employee should still have a front row.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's important, because even though it's geared towards the employee, entrepreneurs, like you say, they can use that as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and they need that. They definitely need that, and especially, for different reasons. Obviously, if you're in corporate America, you got to figure out how to move yourself up the ladder and get promoted, and you usually have to have someone in your got your back.
Right.
And then
it's a campaign for sure. And I talk to them just as in that way. It is a campaign. If you can think of how a politician gets elected, that's exactly what you're doing to move your career forward.
I like the first 100 days though, because in any organization, that's something that you really need to take on, because many of us don't have contracts, so many of us do that transactional business. So we never really are forced to look at things that way, 100 days. But when you're in contracts, that first 100 days mean a lot. Because here you are, you're performing the contract, and you got to prove to the contract provider that they did make a good choice in hiring you.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
As that contractor. So that is really good. I really like that.
Thank you.
And like you said, things change as you go along.
They do.
You got to adjust with it.
Yeah.
I actually, when I tell my students, Candace, we're laughing about the eating cake and not the working out. But I tell my students, I teach I teach a bookkeeping class, an accounting bookkeeping class to young people who are on county services. They're out of the community. They're LA Office of Education, LACO. And so we've been doing it. I think we're on our fifth. We're just finishing up the fifth cohort. The graduation's next week. And so the goal is to give them a skill set so that they can acquire a higher wage. Make a higher wage and get them completely off of social services. So we're very proud to say that we're at a 85% higher rate. And so part of that process is the skills that I teach, and it's being taught by individuals that are professionals. This is our career. And so now I'm not just giving you the lecture component. I'm giving you my real world experiences, and I've been pretty blessed to work pretty much with multiple in various companies and industries. So they get that. And then on top of that, from there, there's the soft skills, because that's a big issue. Most employees have a problem. So someone from corporate is doing that. I mean, someone from LACO is doing that, and then someone's teaching them Microsoft Word and Excel. But also, I'm teaching them, when you go to find your job, don't look for a job. Look for one. You're going to start entry level. So this is you're not going to stay here. So give yourself an opportunity. And so a lot of them have never worked before, but I said, give yourself an opportunity. Go work temp, because that way you can interview your current bosses, and see if that's the culture. And remember, when you go out to look, you guys have families. So make sure that the company that you're going to work is family friendly because you already know you're going to be going for graduations and you're going to be taking children to doctors sick. So you already know this. So you want to find out if they're family friendly before. So don't let them interview you. Yeah. You interview them as well.
I tell everyone that.
The experience is going to be different.
Yeah. Right.
And so right now, so they've taken heed, and so we're really, really proud of the outcome that we've had.
Yeah, that's a good result.
And we've not had no one's come back and going, I can't find a job because they're well equipped. And I think that should be the way, because employees are always saying, oh, I can't find the right employee. Well, or do you know who you're hiring, first of all? Especially small businesses.
That's an easy out, though.
And small businesses have this problem because they obviously don't have an HR department, but they're not exactly the best at hiring, and nor are they the best at firing.
That's right.
And they don't normally have handbooks or all of the things in place that will help them navigate through now having people that you pay. And,
call me.
Right? and I find that, they really get snippety about the money. Well, they're doing this and they're doing this. But are you training them appropriately so that you will feel that there's a value as opposed to for a deduction from your business? Because you can't run a business without the employees. They're your associates, and they make it right for you, right? And usually they're the first person the people see when they come to your business. So it behooves you to train them properly.
Sometimes there's more butts and seats, but they have to understand, like, you got to invest in your people.
Right.
Yeah.
You just made a good point there, Crystal, and also Tana did say, I just read his name, so.
They got matching names, huh?
Tana did say something about how some decisions are made based on emotions. And I just want to put this out there for small businesses. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Think about it. You may forget about it at the end of today, but I want you to tomorrow start thinking about this show and remember what I just said. A lot of us as entrepreneurs, we make decisions based on emotions and how we feel about your business. I want you to think about this. When someone calls you, or if you try to call someone, a client or a strategic partner or a contract provider, and they didn't answer the phone, and you call them again, and no answer. It doesn't mean they're avoiding you. Right. It doesn't mean that, they've got you on a do not call list or anything like that. It could mean that they're busy doing some other stuff, or they're with a client, or they're working on a project. So don't take it personal. Please do not take it personal. I've dealt with this so many times.
Oh, my gosh.
So many times. And I just want them to understand that if we're busy and you're busy, chances are there's a reason why you're not getting us.
Yeah.
So, I'd like you to emphasize that a little bit.
We're so emotionally driven. I have clients that'll call. If I don't answer, they'll hang up and call back. And they'll keep calling.
Yeah.
And if I'm planning to train the client, I may grab the phone and say, hey, I'm with a client, I'll call you back. And then sometimes, depending on if I'm with my group session, I can grab the phone sometimes. They're busy working.
Right.
But if I'm with a personal client that's paying me X amount of dollars an hour,
I ain't calling
I can't answer the phone.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and then when I finally call back, oh, what's up? I saw you call me. I'm going to say 12 times. Oh, nothing. then it's like, oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
no. Something was going on. We're so emotionally driven. It's just
I know.
Like they're missing a party or something.
Yes.
I go through that a lot.
But Gilbert, that's a great point, because especially leaving corporate, that was something I had to really learn.
Yes.
And because you do take it personal at first.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, we had a great meeting or a great lunch or a great phone call, I'll follow up, and then you went ghost on me. Right. And so I have an example where just this week there was a young lady that I was trying to meet with since November.
Yeah.
And she canceled, then she stopped responding to my emails, my phone calls, and I said, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
So then I just happened to see on LinkedIn, it was her company anniversary. So I always send people stuff when I get the alerts. And I just sent her a thing saying happy anniversary. I was like, probably here for her anyway. She immediately responded. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so glad you sent this. It reminds me we need to reschedule that meeting. We rescheduled the meeting, and now there's like a big business deal on the table.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I had just kind of sat in my feelings and just like, I'm not even going to talk to her anymore or respond or email her, then that opportunity that now we're looking at that, that could take everything I'm doing to a whole nother level, I would have missed that opportunity.
Yes.
But I remember my uncle, he's an entrepreneur, he's in insurance, and he said, Tana, be prepared to follow up at least 11 times.
Yes.
Multiple ways, but 11 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've gone through this so many times because you guys know me. I'm crazy busy. I'm crazy busy. And sometimes people call me, I'm just getting on the plane. If a flight is an hour or more than that, I'm not going to call you back within that time. And if you didn't get a call back, then you take it personal. So these are some of the things I'd like to put out there. Please, if we don't call you back or send you an email, it doesn't mean that we're avoiding you. It just
so you know what happens now with your people that know me?
They call you?
They call me. They say, where's Gilbert? And then I'll go, well, Gilbert's traveling right now. If it's urgent, then he's only available the first 2 days of the week. So reach out to him this time. But anything from Wednesday, so don't get all bent out of shape.
Just a couple of days ago, I called back a company that had been calling me for a while. I called them back. The lady had a serious attitude with me.
Really?
Because it took me a moment to call her back.
Oh, my Lord.
and I almost just canceled the deal.
Yeah.
I almost said, well, you know what? Since you can't get past the fact that I am busy.
Yes.
Which they should want you to be.
That's exactly what I was like. People want to do business with people who are doing something.
That's right.
So, but I look past her. I said, I ain't got to like you make this money.
That's right. It's green. Take it.
But I don't dislike anyone. But I was very upset by the fact I couldn't believe she had an attitude. And I was like, well, I was really, really busy. Servicing clients and took me a couple of days, but hey, we're talking now. What's up? Let's do this.
Exactly.
Hasn't changed my ability to do this, that, and the other.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I just want to make sure we put that out there so they know.
This book, Tana.
Yes.
This book, Motivation, Inspiration, Volume 1, that means a Volume 2 is coming?
A Volume 2 is coming.
Now, what's your inspiration behind this book? Because looking at this, I just flipped through a few of the pages. It looks like it builds on each point.
It does.
Which I think was genius.
Yes.
Because you'll get some
writing.
I think that was great. It's a book of quotes, and there's a quote on one side, and there's a page for you to write your thoughts on the other. And I've seen books that have quotes and then a page to write.
Yeah.
And as you read the quote, it's like, what? Okay, so what do I write? But when you go from, you're taking them through steps.
And we actually could do a book like that.
I think that's really, really great.
Yeah, so the
really
little book
great.
of motivation, inspiration, and what I did was I looked back at 2017 because I put out motivational quotes every Monday.
Yeah.
And I looked at the ones that really resonated with my followers, which ones got the most likes or engagement. And I said, okay, there's something here.
Right.
I want to be able to feed them some more from here. So I took those, and you're right, I put them in almost like a journal format where I said, okay, here's a quote based on kind of what the theme is around these quotes. And then, yes, how does this quote, how will it apply to your life, or how has it, or how will it apply to your life? And just really give them some pause to think about that. So that's the book I released earlier this year, like right after the first of the year.
I like that because it shows a difference in your writing style.
Yeah.
Each
one's different.
Yeah, each one is very different. This one's from obviously your corporate life, and this is now you as the consultant and moving in, and then this one is based upon actually response to the feedback to the people that are reaching out to you. Candace says,
Candace is busy.
What happens in between customers? So she says, we make emotional decisions. Yes, I've been told via email I was rude and dismissive because I answered the phone and told them I would call them back. She got a boutique. That would be what happened.
Okay.
And she says, thank you, Gilbert. Tana, that's great. I will be prepared to follow up 11 times.
All right.
We converted one person.
That's right.
Now, my technique with that is I actually... I know that I was going to be busy all the month of June and into July because of the program. So I've told everybody, all my clients, I've told them, look, I got to squeeze you in here. Once I start with the kids, 8 hours, you're going to have to be patient because I can leave when I have somebody covering and the kids are in a position where they're covered with somebody. So just be patient. This is when I'm busy. And then when I go to teach Mount Sac, I am teaching Monday through Wednesday. I usually can come after because I can't come in the morning right now. It depends on the time. Right. And then Thursday's my day. So we're just going to have to work y'all all in this time frame. So I've kind of trained mine.
That's good.
Because they get a little
expectations.
Yeah, because it makes you crazy. You get all antsy. I can't be driving on the highway always antsy because folks is calling me, been out of shape because they can't reach me. And
I even use an online scheduler so that way people can go to my calendar and I have specifically like what days and hours that I want to be able to deal with.
And actually, I did that for I started with one for the Business Zone. So it's been working really. And then I just found another one. I just heard about another one called Sign Up Genius, which is absolutely amazing.
That's the one I got booked.
Is that the one you used? Yeah. Sign Up Genius.
Sign Up Genius.
Sign Up Genius. You put your message and everything in. Then you send it. You put the dates that you're available, and then they plug it in, and then it uploads to
you appear like me.
You appear. It's so much easier because for me to people are like, and lately it's people saying, I want to be on the show. Fantastic! I don't have to go look at it. Here's the link.
I like that.
So it's been working real well. It's easier.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we're at the bottom of the hour here. It's almost 4:30. Oh, well, it is 4:30. And we're enjoying ourselves here on the Business Zone. We're talking with Dana Session, an amazing human resources.
You just called her Dana.
That's a Dana? That's what happened because I read this book. I read her book, The Foreword, and her husband wrote the foreword, and his name is Dana Dane. So I keep messing it up. Oh, I shouldn't have read it. I shouldn't have read it. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert.
And Dawn.
She's been practicing that for like the last.
You don't have to say the and. You just say your name. I got you.
I got you. So we'll take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
New Father Chronicles. New Father Chronicles.
So we got a big day ahead. You ready?
Yeah.
Good. You gotta get in the back too. You gotta get in the back. Yeah, back. Back. Back.
Oh my God.
Put your hand in the sleeve just like this. Take the tie and put it over your head.
Wow.
right, and I got this. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty close. This is a part of what life is going to be as a 2-year-old now. Let me just help you out on that really, really quick. Doing your hair, I'm doing your hair. Gonna help you doing your hair. All right, Amali, you ready? Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go. Shout out to ORS Curls Unleashed for sponsoring this video. Thank you for sending us the kids line. It worked great in Amala's hair. I mean, I used it in my hair too, and it even worked good there. Check them out. Link in the description.
He's got a whole series.
So
adorable.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Gilbert,
and Dawn.
All right, we finally get it right.
Yes, that was too cute.
And our special guest is Miss Tana Session. And she's a phenomenal HR consultant and specialist. She's also an entrepreneur and an amazing author. Yes. Check out this book. She's written 3 of them, and she's preparing for the 4th one right now. So, Miss Sessions, tell us a little bit more about your career goals, your drive, your next step in entrepreneurship.
I want to be able to touch at least 1 million women's lives.
Wow.
That's my goal with my program. I'm actually in the process of, my trademark is almost complete, so I'm really excited about that. So I'll be able to certify other coaches to do my program, so that way I can multiply me and be able to touch more people that way to scale my business. So that's really one of the things I'm working on for the last half of this year, is to roll out my Stop Being the Best Kept Secret coaching program and get people certified in that program, and thereby be able to widen my reach to really impact the lives of the women I want to reach.
So what's your trademark?
It's Stop Being the Best Kept Secret.
Oh,
yeah. So soon no one will be able to use that.
Yeah.
They pay me.
Right.
That's our tour.
That's right.
Doing.
I like that. That's great.
I actually like that concept because I've been toying around with a program, trainer, the trainers, especially the bookkeeping side.
Yeah.
And it actually could be great because people that are migrating out of corporate America and being able to have that skill set to start their own solo business, solo practice, and also that gives us a roster, a team of people. So I'm really toying around with doing that. It was so hard. I used to do bookkeeping, QuickBooks classes for business owners, and I never could get them to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for them, and so I actually changed it. So now I go to their office and train their staff.
But they're just too busy to come? Is that what it was? Because they were small business owners?
They didn't really want to. Unfortunately, didn't want to know about that part.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, we'll switch this.
That's the important part. That's the money.
That's the money part. Right, exactly.
I want to know where my money's going.
And what we've learned is that that's a satisfied part of running a business, because many entrepreneurs, they don't care to know about the money part, the cash flow part.
Because they just want to do the job. They want to do the service.
They just want to do what they do, and then they defer that to someone else. Oh, my bookkeeper will take care of it. Oh, my accountant will take care of it. And then they know nothing about that aspect of it.
But you've heard a lot of horror stories like that.
Oh, yeah. People miss out all the time on understanding. In fact,
taxes not being paid, all kinds of things.
I mean, I've come in as a troubleshooter to so many companies because they've been in trouble with the IRS and whomever, and it's because they don't have anyone, they don't want to do it, or they don't understand it, or that's not their area of expertise. It's your money. So it has to become your area of expertise. But that's what I'm thinking. So that might be a good way to do that. It's certified.
See, look at that little seat up. That already impacted another woman.
There you go. Great. Yeah, I've been playing around with that to make sure that we meet. And you too. Because training somebody in the likeness of you.
Yes, but there's only one me, so that's going to be
well, a slight off version.
Yeah, they're going to be more than slightly off. But it's cool. I can help you a little bit. I'll try to train you to be me. But I don't think it's going to work. Most people like to sleep.
Yeah, that's an issue. We don't sleep.
And I go to the gym 3 times a day. We must think.
No, yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. Absolutely. It's about duplicating yourself. You can build a bigger business.
Yeah, so you can scale. And that's the franchise methodology. There's a book called, remember we did the E-Myth?
Exactly.
And that is the process of duplicating you to expand out your business.
Exactly.
Like rinse and repeat.
Yeah, right.
When I first had the studio, remember when I first had the studio, I had a studio called the Aerobics Room. I had a gym for about 12 years. The Aerobics Room was around for 6. What was interesting was I taught mostly all the classes, and there was some point where when I first got started, I had to do that because I was the energy, I was the brand, I had to bring people in. And then when I started to have different teachers for Zumba, and I'd invite a teacher in to teach the class, and no one would show up. They showed up at first because they thought I would teach, and then found out I wasn't teaching. They started not showing up.
Right.
And so I couldn't have a Zumba teacher outside of me. So what I did was I had to take 3 people and teach them all of my steps to my routines. So you may not have me, but you'll have my choreography, which is just as great, right? Yeah. Because most of the people who taught Zumba, we choreograph our own routines.
Okay.
And I believe that my routines are like just amazing.
They're unique.
Actually, they are, because she had a Zumba party last Friday. Now, last week, I did salsa. I did Zumba. I did my burlesque class. Wow. I did Zumba again. And then Friday night, she had a Zumba party. And then Saturday, I went to some meeting, and then Sunday where I do my burlesque class, we did a performance. So we did our first performance on Saturday.
I missed it. You didn't tell me.
I know. It was awesome. Class. So we're going to do a showcase throughout the summer. And so we've got some new people. Wow. So that was my first performance. It was actually a lot of fun. We did two performances. We did a stand-up routine, and then we did a chair routine. And but so I danced. I know, she's like, ooh. Find your inner sex.
Exactly.
I don't know how she actually had energy to do that performance after our Zumba party, but anyway.
You're absolutely. That's what I was getting to.
Dedication.
I said that because that's how I had to duplicate myself within my business in order for it to grow. I said I got to find a way. I was trying to bring in some outside Zumba teachers, but they weren't, living up to the expectations of the people. Yeah. So when I started teaching Danielle and Linda and Deandra my steps, and Melinda, when I wasn't there, they taught the classes, and you still got a little bit of Dawn, in Danielle's body.
Yeah.
I mean,
she has an awesome, the choreography is awesome. Yeah. So this last Friday, we haven't done Zumba in a little while, right? Mm-hmm. So we're doing it, she's like, and it's going back into the archives, and we're like, oh yeah, we remember those steps. Oh yeah, we remember that song. So yeah, we had to get that. So she's rekindling or
But that was the launch of me doing Zumba once a month.
Right. So we're going to do once a month, so she's going to have a party once a month. So you guys
come, Tina.
Yeah, it's so
much fun. It's going to be awesome. You scared?
Yes.
Don't be scared. We're just dancing.
There's nothing like picking up 50-pound weights. Let me trust you.
We're dancing and having fun.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like a party.
It was fabulous. It's a party.
We do the wobble. We did Cupid. We didn't do creepers.
But we did it in the form of a fitness fashion. So it ain't just we got down.
And she goes. The girl got some energy.
You've never done Zumba?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh,
I'm scared.
Can you dance a little bit?
My husband says no. I think I can.
I'll turn you into a dancer.
Okay.
Stevie says she missed the step aerobics. Hey, Stevie D, birthday girl.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a musician, right?
So, do you know how to duplicate yourself? In what you just said, you're a brand and everything?
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but I feel like the methodology is there, right? So as long as you have the system in place, then again, it's like the rinse and repeat. So you train people. So my goal is to have people go through the program themselves, because I had to do the same thing. Yeah. And then from there...
You took yourself through your own program?
Yeah, and then from there, be able to shadow them as they take a client or two through the program. Right. So very similar to when I was getting certified through the International Coach Federation. They had a methodology because they have a system. Right. And I thought back to that, and I said, I can do something very similar, not as big, of course, because I'm not that big yet. But to get started, I can definitely use the system that I have that's working, that has worked with my clients, and then just have other people go through the program and train others.
Absolutely.
I'm resonating with what you guys are saying. It's difficult. It's difficult to duplicate yourself, even though we know that should be the objective.
Right.
Because we all are unique,
Yeah,
and we bring unique flavor to the table. So it's difficult. I mean, you've got years and years of experience in finance. So let's say you brought me in. I'm going to be talking about finance, but you've got certain other flavors that you can bring to the table that the customer want to hear, or it will spice things up for them.
Right.
Same thing with you.
I know. You're never going to be Crystal.
Right.
You're never going to be done. But it's you still can duplicate to a certain extent.
To a certain
In order to
extent.
scale your business, you have to. I can't dance forever.
Right.
I got to find a way to create some little mini-me's.
And what we got to tell our clients is that each person brings a different flavor to the table. You're still getting the message. You're still getting the objectives, the goals and objectives. But they're bringing a different flavor, and that's what we got to tell them.
I don't even think you have to tell them. I think they're going to trust the
Well,
brand.
I think
they're going to trust the brand. They're going to trust the brand.
Because
I've
I've
noticed
noticed
the brand.
Because they don't do it for McDonald's.
Right. Because I know with
and
me,
McDonald's is owned by different people across the country.
They
Right?
trust
They're
the
going to trust the
brand.
brand.
So whatever they're good at, like Kuna, when she took over for me at, so my students was like, wait a minute, you're leaving? Yeah. Now normally there's a cross, but I didn't have enough time for a cross where I bring them in to introduce them. Right. But I know I've seen her. She's come as a guest in my class, and I saw how the students resonated with her, and that was why I reached out to her about the payroll. Yeah. She's still using some of my practice sets, and I had to do a little different because I left earlier than I did last year. Yeah. Right. But I haven't got any phone calls, so I assume, Kuna, you've done a good job. Yeah. So I'll know next week when I go to graduation, right? And even today, the kids, I'm the only one in the classroom, and usually children kind of, they gravitate, they follow me all over the cafeteria. We go down to lunch. They're like, can I do this? And one little one, and how are you today, Miss Crystal? And so when Alicia came in, I introduced her. I told them that this was a person that I work with, and she when I first met her, she spoke my language, and we support each other. So during the time I'm teaching, they're like, we have a question. And I go, yes. No, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to her.
Yeah.
So
you empower
I empowered them to talk to her. And I said, well, you guys. And so then Alicia says, well, no, finish. Let Miss Crystal finish. Yeah. And then you guys will have me until 5 o'clock. Yeah. And so then when I left, they were like, okay, see you Monday. I was like, well, wow, okay.
Because they trust the brand. They trust you.
They trust the brand. So I think that's what you have to do. Recognize that, they're not going to be me. I'm who I am. Exactly. So, and I have my own flair.
I do trust the brand, but I believe also that the person or persons who are promoting the brand for you, they have to bring a hook to the table as well.
Yes, they do.
You see, just like when you write a song, that song has to have a hook to grab people.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to be like you. But if they have something unique that they bring with your product to the table, people go, oh, I love this. I love the way they deliver it. You see what I mean?
And then they see them as part of you. Candace says here, my clients can tell when associate has the basics of styling. They say things like, you have been trained well by Candace. This is
I like that.
Still their own personality, but they have the basics.
Exactly.
So I think that's what you have to do. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. But there are big stars now that are doing. Ziggy Marley is now doing something with Sting. That's bad. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but and reaching out to both styles. He's rocker and he's reggae. It's not the same style music, but again, the basics, right? Bringing good music and then sharing that with your audience. So I think you have to identify, some people that can duplicate you or be you, just the basics, and understand, the material and so forth. Yeah. And I think it's still, they'll know you're there. I mean, Dawn, she came in, it was me and Gilbert, and then Dawn.
I can't be Gilbert.
No, you can't be Gilbert. She's Dawn.
But you got your hook, though. You got your hook.
Right, exactly. So, but I think you're absolutely right. We can't grow our businesses if we are the only ones. Because we're going to get burnt out, right?
Yes.
The whole purpose of the McDonald's and the Burger King concept is so that not only do you duplicate yourself, but you make it autonomous. Let it work by itself.
Yeah, that's why you need systems.
Yeah. Systems. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that has to be. Yeah. Wow, we're at the top of. We had 10 minutes left of the show.
It's amazing.
Wow,
how time flies.
Right. I do want to before we wrap up and everybody tells how we connect with each other. I want to make sure that we honor our fathers this weekend because they don't get the same love all the time that the mamas get. Yeah. So I'm going to do a poem here. Read a poem. Right. And it's Only a Dad by Edgar Guest. Only a dad with a tired face coming home from the daily race, bringing little of gold or fame to show how well he has played the game. Be glad in his heart that his own rejoice to see him come and to hear his voice. Only a dad with a brood of 4, one of 10 million men or more, plowing through the daily strive, bearing the whips and the scrollings of life with never a whimper of pain or hate for those for the sake of those who at home await. Only a dad, neither rich or proud, merely one of the surging crowd, toiling, striving from day to day, facing whatever they may come his way, silence whenever the harsh condemn, and bearing it all for the love of them. Only a dad, but he gives his all to smooth the way for his children small, doing with courage stern and grim the deeds that his father did for him. This is the line that for him I pen. Only a dad, but the best of men. So that is honor of fathers for this weekend. Have a wonderful Father's Day. Nice. So how do they reach you, Tana?
So they can go to my website, TanaMSession.com, and you can also follow me on Instagram under Tana M Session and Facebook under TMS Tana M Session, as well as LinkedIn, everywhere. Tana M Session.
And you do your motivation tips every
Monday, motivational tips, and then I have Hump Day Humor Days on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then Fridays I have a in your face kind of like what's stopping you from moving forward kind of question.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, Tana M Session. Okay. Yeah, so I'm everywhere. Tana M Session.
So I go online, I'll see all of those things.
Yes, you will. Actually, that's what I did. And Miss Dawn,
you can find me here with Crystal and Gilbert.
And when you're not here on Friday, where are you?
You can find me on all social media as Dawn DAWN Strozier, STROZIER, Dawn Strozier. You can also find me Mondays at 11 o'clock on Build the Body You Want, acceleratedradio.net, and right here.
And right here. And Gilbert?
Well, I'm going to be all over the place. I've got a variety of different workshops coming up. And Dawn was looking to see if she has another vacancy. Yes, you do have another vacancy here. Because come August, I'll be in Vegas again.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be in Vegas for about 6 weeks. So as of August 22nd, I'll be there doing that. I'm also getting ready to do some workshops for the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Agency. So I'm all over the place. You can reach me at Gilbert at thebuchanangroup.net. I am on Facebook as well, LinkedIn, and I've got my team now working on an Instagram page. So,
all right, there you go.
Please let me say, this coming weekend, I'm doing a walk in the morning with I'm doing a walk with Black Businesswoman Rock. We're doing a walk
very good.
Saturday morning. So if you want to join us, go to Black Businesswoman Rock. I'm also I'm dancing for about 30 minutes, doing a fitness dance at the Relay for Life Cancer Walk in Inglewood, right there behind on, what is that? Fairhill?
Oh, okay. Fairway?
Fairfax.
Fairfax. Okay.
On Fairfax. I'll be dancing at 2 o'clock. Come join me. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. We're doing Zumba. On the 30th, I'm speaking at the Fearless Conference. 2018. I'm so excited. It's about stop procrastinating. You can actually go to angelgains.com if you want tickets.
Okay.
And Crystal, what do you got going on?
I am in Biz Camp for the next 3 weeks. We're looking for volunteers to come out, mentor speakers to talk to these amazing children. If you're interested, reach out to me at 323-906-7004, and I will send you the link. If you're also interested in being a guest on the Business Zone, you can reach out as well, and I'll send you the link. So you can put yourself on the calendar. So for the next, so I got 2 we have the next 3 weeks to the 29th, the graduation. We're going to be at SC. So if you guys are interested in coming to the graduation, that'd be fantastic. Then I am going to be out of town. I'm going to the George Fraser Power Network Conference in July, starting July 2nd, and I'll be gone through to the 8th. So Don on Friday.
Don and Gilbert.
And then I will come back on the 9th, and we're starting up our next session of classes from the 8th to the 27th. Right. And then by come August, I'll be about dead. And then September, I will rounding back up. I'm taking August and mellowing out a little bit. And then we're going to start some classes.
And our anniversary is
actually, our anniversary is July 8th. In fact, you 16th. And Don, the Gilbert and Don, will be going on the day of our anniversary.
Oh, wow. Awesome. I'll be celebrating.
So that means we have been on the air for 2 years.
2 years.
Yay.
2 years, and I'll be celebrating, 2 weeks? When is this?
July.
No, you'll be celebrating 2 years.
I'll be celebrating a month. Crystal and Don. This is so, God is so good.
And then that's it, boy. I'm moving toward my...
Crystal, tell them how to get a hold of, how to subscribe to the Business Zone.
Oh, so go to YouTube and the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. Now this is ridiculous, guys. We have been begging you to subscribe to the Business Zone because I just need to be able to create a customized URL, and I need 100 people. Yes. So we are now at 95. Can y'all just give me 5 more for our anniversary? That's all I ask for. 5.
They'll do it.
So can you do that for me? 5 for our
Lauren, we got to get you in here, Lauren.
So that we can get our own customized URL, and then we want to start monetizing the show, and we want to use the AdSense and all the affiliations and all that wonderful money out there. But
Lysandra, we need to get you in here too. Get in here. Subscribe.
So Candace says she subscribed. So I'm gonna send out another link because I'm gonna get my 5.
Gotta get my 5.
So, but that's it. So you can subscribe to us. We just have amazing guests, amazing special co-hosts.
Amazing co-hosts.
And so you gotta be here on the Business Zone.
That's right.
Is the place to be.
This is the place to be. And for those of you who are just tuning in and don't know anything about the Business Zone is a platform where supply diversity, small business, and contract providers come together to provide opportunities and success for small businesses. So we really would like you to tune in every Friday. We're here every Friday from 3 to 5. And you can find us at morrismedialive.com. And you will get a variety of information free. This is usually what we charge. We usually do this in our workshops, and we charge for this. So you're getting this free on the air every Friday.
And counseling from everybody. All of us have some pretty high price tags for our hourly fees. You guys are getting it free.
You guys are getting this free,
so make sure you want to tune in. Right. And we're also on Facebook Live at my Facebook at Crystal Mitchell's Facebook page. We're live on Recycling Black Dollars YouTube page and Facebook page and Morris Media's page. Now we're live on Don Strozier's page. We just live.
And we're live also on Antena Sessions, YouTube.
Yes.
And also go to smallbizpro.net and download our app. And this will be a great app for your small business because what it does, it helps you to become business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready. Now, if you don't know if you're business ready, bank loan ready, or contract ready, this is excellent because there's a little test on there that you can take that will tell you if you are business ready or not. So this is an amazing thing for your small business. So go ahead, check it out.
And then you need to check that he's revamped it and upgraded. So for the HR field, for your clients, being able to make sure all their compliance documents are in place, all their insurance documents. When it's time to renew, it gives you reminders and all that sort of stuff, which will make it easier when you start asking for some paperwork and they don't have to go digging in files. He's done an amazing job with that.
Thank you. And I'm going to, both of you, I'm going to give you guys free subscriptions.
Okay, where is it?
So I want you smallbizpro.net. Just go there online and then register. Once you register, send me an email and say, hey, I'm in.
Okay.
And then I'll go in the back end and I'll give you guys free subscriptions.
That's awesome.
Okay?
Awesome.
Yeah.
You get stuff when you host this show.
That's what I'm talking about.
They wonder why I keep showing up. You get stuff.
So, Tana, you want to give them some parting information?
If anyone's here in LA, I will be at an event tomorrow at actually at Candace's boutique. I can't remember the name of it.
All that and more boutique in Culver
Boutique
City on
Culver
Los
Excellent.
Overhill and Jefferson.
That's it.
Beautiful.
I'm coming. You got something for me, Candace? You got some clothes? I'm an extra small petite.
With the zippers up the back.
No.
So, Crystal, do you want to take us out?
Yes. So you guys are tuned in. Thank you so much for being on the Business Zone this Friday, and we will see you next week at 3:00.
Okay.
Have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day.
And we're out.
Happy Father's Day.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a